Hello, this is Chris Terrell with EverydayVBA, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Macro Monday challenge, which was to change the sheet name from a form. Now this is a fun little solution. First thing I want to do is just do a quick overview of what we did on our last module. So here's our user form. So we've got a user form with a combo box, and that combo box has some code. Now we initialize, and initialize basically means this is the code that we're going to process when we open up that form. So we load in each sheet, and then when a sheet is selected, it actually goes to that sheet, and then it unloads that sheet, or basically like closes it. Now, how do you do that? Well, you've got to have a module, and that module, it's really simple. You just say, hey, I want to show that form, and when you show that form, it initializes, and then you're good to go. And this is what it looks like. So it pulls it up, you select the sheet you want to go to, it pulls it up, and then closes. So that is the macro that we did last week. Now, what we're going to do now is we are going to just add a couple things. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add a label. And labels don't really do anything, they just give you information. So you got to be careful not to double click, or it'll actually open up the code window. New name. And then we're going to add in a text box, and I'm just going to call that text box 1, which is fine. And then we also need a button, because what we're going to do is you're going to select the sheet name, and then once you select that sheet name, you're going to rename it, and then you're going to press the button. So we're going to call this change name. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that the caption is changing. So first thing we want to do is we want to click on change name, because that's how we're actually going to execute that. So when this command button is clicked, what do we need to do? Well, we need to, I'm going to do the same thing here. NME is equal to combo box 1. Okay, which is perfect. So now we've got that. Now, a couple things before I move on this. I want to get rid of this. I'm going to comment out this code. I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to comment it out, because if we did do that, it would actually move to that sheet, which wouldn't actually be all that bad, but could cause some issues. So we're going to go sheets NME, which is going to select the sheet that we've selected in our combo box, or our drop-down box, is equal to, or .name, because we're renaming it, is equal to me.textbox. Now, the only reason I did me in there is just so that I would get that IntelliSense, so that it would pull up. Me is basically whatever object, whatever form I am. So that is actually going to rename it, which is awesome. So let's give this a shot. So we're going to go sheet 1, and we're going to call this new sheet. I'm going to click change name. You'll notice that it changes. Now, the one thing that I haven't done here is I haven't actually closed it. So we need to add in that piece. And then we're going to add in one other piece, which is just an error handling, because you do end up with issues on your sheet names, like if they're too long or if they're too whatever. I mean, you can have all sorts of problems, but I'm just going to add a quick little error handler in here real quick. First thing we need to do is we need to go unload me. Okay, that will basically unload it. You can actually also use hide, which is another way to do that. Now, what hide does is it basically says, hey, I've got a window here, and I'm going to put this window back so you don't see it. The problem with that is we're changing the name. So if we used hide and then show, what would happen in that case is you would hide that, but it wouldn't have the new name, because it wouldn't initialize and load all of the new worksheet names. So little caveat there. All right. So now what we want to do is add in an error handler. So we're going to go on error, go to errHandle. Okay, we're going to go there. Okay, now we're going to put that right there. That's going to be the error handling code. We're going to do MsgBox, SheetSub, please enter another name, another sheet name. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to clear out text box 1. So we're going to go me.textbox1 is equal to quote, quote, double quote, which will actually just clear out that box. So the final thing that we need to do is we don't want to go to our error handler if it runs correctly, so we need to add in exit sub here. All right, let's give it a shot. So we're going to click on this. I'm going to change new sheet. I'm going to change it to these characters, which is the forward slash backslash. It doesn't like those. Oh, please use another sheet, and you'll notice it clears it out. Totally fine. Does a perfect job. So we're going to name this sheet 1. I'm going to hit enter, and you'll notice that that changes to sheet 1. Now let's try it for sheet 2, or the rename sheet. And I'm just hitting enter twice. If you hit enter, it goes to the next tab, or the next tab stop, which was be change name. That is your solution to the Macro Monday challenge of a user form to change the sheet name with an error handler in it. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the Everyday VBA channel. Also check me out on Facebook at EverydayVBA, and I hope you enjoyed.